IMG goes on the road Saturday to play number 6 Duncanville. So you got a 1 versus 6.
Yeah, I just love the fact that IMG is going back to Texas. You know, you brought up the last time they went there was 2015.
Going into the week of Duncanville week, we called it, kids talked about some downtime for us just to recover and grow as a team. You know, Victory Monday this week consists of taking them to the beach, where the players could just lounge out and start to enjoy each other. We had players play in the ocean. We had guys study on the beach. So it was a great way just to fool around with our guys, get to know them in a different site, and we did a great job with it.
Had a lot of motivation in us going into Duncanville, and just the practice energy was definitely different from the weeks prior. It was an unneeded motivation that was just in us, and we were ready to play. This is a game that I've been excited for. There is no fear, there is no pressure felt when we put in the work that we do and we prepare the way we prepare. We love when everyone's against us, and it adds another chip on our shoulder to just keep going and prove that we're the best team in the country.
Y'all got an amazing opportunity, man, for real. Like, coming to IMG, man, like, it really changed my life for real. Just my first, week I got there. DeAndre, Tony Jones. I mean, I met Bo before he left. A lot of guys, man, plenty of guys that I still talk to this day. Like, in the Snapchat group chat with Tony and 3 other guys that I went to school with. It's just like a brotherhood, bro. Like, y'all gonna know y'all teammates through college, through league. Got to Alabama, man, met Bo. Like, me and Bo was like this just because we went to IMG together. Like, that was a connection right there. And then just the IMG connection, like, when I say that, bro, like, tomorrow y'all really got to go out there and play as brothers, like y'all knew each other since y'all was yay high. Because that's just what it's going to be. If y'all don't do that, bro, this team, they're going to run through y'all.
Sir, thank you.
Having the alums come back and really share their experience about brotherhood, that's the big message that came across. And the other message was that we don't lose in Texas. And our guys really gravitated to his speech, and he really set the bar high for us, and the guys lived it.
Very excited about having an opportunity to play Texas. I mean, we've been down, Greg's been here since a sophomore, and I finally see a Texas team on the schedule is huge.
Very important that the number one thing that we made a deal was that one of us would always come to his game. We're so proud of him, and he worked so hard, and IMG has been the best for us.
For us to be able to go to every game, either one of us or both of us, it's been really, really special. It's great for him to have all of his friends from home. We have a ton of family and friends here that came down from Chicago to support Jay.
Nigel Harris,
continually grow mentally.
number 74 center,
Recruitment. You know, when he does go
number 56 right guard, Ethan Lane,
whatever you do. So
number 54 right tackle.
Welcome into the high school football game of the year. This big matchup between the number 1 team in the nation, IMG Academy, and the Duncanville Panthers from just down the road here in the Metroplex, ranked number 6. Would you believe 49 players in this game have at least one FBS offer?
Y'all control this game. Y'all are gonna be the reason we have that ring on our finger at the end of the year. Let's go, baby. Bring it up. Hey,
y'all lost him. I'm gonna die for y'all, all right?
Let's go, boys. Hey, brotherhood on me, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Brotherhood. We are ready to go from Globe Life Park.
One, ready?
And now we get a look at J.J. McCarthy.
Hey, he's coming.
On 3rd and 12, McCarthy has a pocket. Throws left, and it is somehow caught. Racing down the sideline, Malik McClain, and pushed out of bounds.
Kick it. We need to have protection. We do. It's just that they brought 6 instead of 5.
IMG Academy up 3-0 on the 31-yard field goal by Gavin Martin.
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you. make you forget who you are.
Let's be ready.
But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fall. Through the unknown. There's only one way.
Run.
We're going to talk a little bit about wall training. Let's go.
We're going to go 3 different types of lunges.
Just keep that back flat.
Today we're going to take you through a full body workout. So let's go.
IMG Plus online camps take the world-renowned coaching and training methodology that helps create high-performing athletes here on site in Bradenton, Florida, and makes it accessible online, allowing for athletes to the ease and convenience of training without having to travel. While most online training platforms feature only pre-recorded instruction, IMG Academy Plus camps deliver daily live video sessions and interactions with IMG coaches and personalized analysis of your game. So not only do we provide a proven training plan, we evaluate and provide feedback on your progress so you know what to do and how to continue improving. So first you have to select the week that you would choose to partake in the activity. On Monday, you'll have a live video call with your coach that will give you instruction and explanation for the week's curriculum. Next, you'll receive access to your plan for the week. Now, this is going to be specific training that is tied to sports development as well as your APD curriculum. APD will include performance training in areas like movement, mental training, and athletic regeneration. Throughout the week, you're going to record yourself or have someone record your actions. You'll submit those videos to your coach for full analysis, and then they will be returned each day. The process will continue Monday through Friday, and at the end of the week, you'll have a full training experience that touches on all of the different aspects in that sport and all levels of development. So the coaches that are going to be working with our virtual campers are going to be the same coaches that work with our student athletes, with our campers, and with our pros that train here on site year-round. They're going to use some of the same methodology that has helped IMG Academy student athletes become some of the world's top athletes.
You think you know us? You think you know what we're about?
One IMG Academy here in Florida.
You think you know what it takes to succeed here? To focus? To grind?
Here we go.
Every single day? You don't even know the half of it.
Let's go!
This here is a brotherhood. We're talking about a got your back now and forever.
Let it out!
Push you harder than you've ever been pushed kind of brotherhood. It's a brotherhood that recognizes the success that came before us and the expectations for us to maintain it. Because the last thing we'd ever do is disappoint our brothers.
24th pick, Cesar Ruiz. 44th pick, Grant Delpit. 46th pick, KJ Hamler.
Morrell breaks the tackle, surging forward, he's in for the touchdown.
We hear what you're saying. The haters, the doubters, the people who throw shots without any idea of the work we put in and the sacrifices we make. But we'll let you in on a little secret. It doesn't matter. You know why? We hold ourselves to a higher standard than anyone could ever set for us. Work harder. Get stronger. Be smarter. Play faster. Dream bigger.
Unreal. IMG dominating.
This one getting a little out of control.
This is a brotherhood. So you think you know us? Well, you're about to find out.
The academic programs at IMG Academy are designed to be complementary to our athletic programs, but our goal is to be admitted and successful at the nation's most select institutions. The competition that's out on the field or on the court turns over into the classroom where students are looking to push themselves. Each year, we generally feature National Merit Scholars, AP Scholars, the Service Academies, the Ivy Leagues, elite academic D3 institutions, and everywhere in between. Ultimately, we want to provide the best fit for each of our student athletes. The academic program has 3 tracks. First and foremost is our college preparatory track. Then we have a full honors track beginning in 8th grade. And then lastly, we have AP courses for our most academically competitive students. Over the last few years, the academic program has grown both in its physical size, as we recently added 30,000 square feet for an increased number of classrooms, a dedicated English as a second language space, 2 hands-on engineering labs, as well as a broadcast TV studio space. We've increased the overall number of faculty to help keep our class sizes down, as well as add depth and breadth to the curriculum by adding new courses each year. At IMG Academy, our goal is to provide the skills and the knowledge to help our student athletes prepare for success at their chosen college or university.
IMG Academy is easily one of the most unique places in the country.
All right, let's go. Let's get to work.
Every college, every university, every major program in the country comes to IMG to recruit these kids.
LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia's, they're gonna come knocking on our door because our kids are ready to play right away, ready to compete.
If you can prove yourself at IMG, you can go on to the next level and be successful.
You're here for a reason, and this place is filled with the best.
You know, as an athlete, they want to get better every day. And these kids come here because of the competition and be the best that they can be.
What I want here is a family culture. The brotherhood is coming closer together. And as a team, if we think as one, we're going to accomplish a lot of our goals.
Welcome to the Bradenton area, where the easy pace of island life comes naturally in this coastal playground with endless white sand beaches, stunning natural preserves, relaxing vibes all around, and it's a seafood lover's paradise. Stay a while to explore downtown Bradenton with top-rated attractions and a friendly community set along the Bradenton Riverwalk. Come lose yourself in the sun-drenched Gulf Coast of Florida and change your reality in the Bradenton area. Learn more at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Do you really think the greatest of all time just came from nowhere? Of course not. Because everyone starts somewhere, and champions start here. Grown rep by rep, conditioned by pro-level coaches who have earned their stripes. Built in elite camps, training day after day. Drilled until second nature becomes first. Start at IMG Academy.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
ever have that day? You know, that day, that very moment, you got better. Your better got better. What if that day was every day?
Friday night lights don't get much brighter than they will be in Bradenton tonight. Not just the top two teams in the Sunshine State, but the number 1 and number 6 teams in the entire nation will face off on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Top-rated IMG Academy Ascenders welcome the Miami Northwestern Bulls to IMG Academy Stadium for their 4th ever meeting, a matchup that has never seen the Bulls in the win column. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into IMG Academy Stadium for the biggest game in America this weekend. Alongside my broadcast partner, Josh Phillips, my name is Ryan Sudol, and this is IMG Academy Football. Josh, this budding rivalry goes back to their first meeting, 2017. Ascenders win 21-0. 2018, Ascenders win 34-7. And then last year in Miami, the Ascenders walked away with a 24-7 victory. Katron Allen had a rushing touchdown. Ari Allen had 110 yards on special teams and kickoff returns, as well as a return touchdown. And sophomore at the time, O.J. Burrows, had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 interceptions, including a pick 6. All 3 of those players back in action for the Ascenders tonight.
Well, the depth that IMG has and brings every single week is unprecedented in high school football across the nation. And those players I know are going to make a difference. Those players are impact guys. They make big plays every single game. The one thing that I'm excited to see tonight is just the rushing attack that the Ascenders have. They've got such a stable of backs in their backfield with Lavassier, Carroll, Katron Allen, and Xavier Terrell is back. It's exciting to see them in action. This is going to be a heck of a matchup.
Even though Northwestern has been on the losing end of all 3 previous matchups with IMG, they did go on each of those 3 seasons to be Florida State champions all the last 3 years. They beat Armwood at the 6A level in 2017 and 2018, and last year they beat Jones 34-17 at the 5A level. Of course, last year when these two teams faced, IMG Academy did not have quarterback J.J. McCarthy, currently the number 23 prospect in the entire nation. The Ascenders will be wearing their all-black jerseys, white numerals, blue trim, and every broadcaster's dream for Miami Northwestern, yellow numbers on white jerseys. So if we have some trouble identifying the visitors, just please stick with us. Again, we will be getting to some of your comments and concerns from the Facebook Live chat as we progress through the game. Follow IMG Academy on all platforms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at IMG Academy. For you IMG fans, you know the hashtag this season is Brotherhood. That is what head coach Bobby Acosta is trying to bring to his 6-0 Ascenders. Miami Northwestern coming off a win over rival Miami Central last week. This only their 2nd game in the season, and we are underway. And this will be fielded by Xavier Terrell at the 2. He will put it on the turf. He cuts to his right, and he is cut down just shy of the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Ascenders with a long way to go.
Not the start that the Ascenders were looking for. I think Xavier Terrell maybe felt a little bit of nerves on that play and took his eye off the ball right as it was making contact with his chest. He was able to pick it back up and get some positive yardage, but they're starting deep inside their own territory here.
Looks like they will spot the ball at the 9-yard line for IMG Academy. J.J. McCarthy will try to move the Ascenders to 7-0, and with a victory tonight over another top 10 team in the nation, possibly solidifying their chances at getting recognized as national champions. Trips bunched to the left, and this one almost intercepted. That one to wide receiver Malik McClain on a quick route and almost picked off and into the end zone. That would have been a quick score for the Bulls.
Number 22, Timothy Burns for the Bulls with a great reaction. He read that play. They were trying to get a quick, easy completion out there on the slip screen, but Burns jumped that, almost intercepted it. It could have been a terrible start for the Ascenders.
So now 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. The man in motion is Ari Allen. They will hand to Lavassier Carroll. The future Georgia Bulldog has space
Gone.
to the 40. He is in Northwestern territory. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Lavassier Carroll from 91 yards out puts the Ascenders up quickly.
There is laundry on the field, Ryan. I don't know if this is coming back. It looks like it may. I see frustration
on the
from
road
the
Saturday.
Ascenders. I think this play is going to be all for
Lavassier
naught.
Carroll,
but
the future
Lavassier
Georgia
Carroll
Bulldog, has
showed you
space
why he
to
is
the
one of the
40.
top
He is
backs
in
all
Northwestern
of high school
territory.
football. He is a
30,
home run
20,
threat every
10,
time he
5,
touches the football.
touchdown.
I have compared him
Lavassier
often
Carroll from
to
91
Eric Dickerson.
yards
He runs
out
with an
puts
upright
the
style.
Ascenders up
His knees
quickly.
are churning, and he is one of the fastest players in the nation.
And even though it didn't count, fans of RBU have got to be excited to see the 91-yard burst. And, of course, the Miami Northwestern coaching staff and head coach Max Edwards going to definitely keep another eye on him. Look out for number 6 for the Ascenders. They'll go back to him, and he tries to bust the right side. This time it is Katron Allen who's got some space across the 20. He'll get close to the first down. That might move the chains, and it will. Again, the two-headed monster, both of them playing in Miami last week. Katron, the only one with a rushing touchdown.
Back to him, and he tries to bust the
There you
right
see
side.
Katron Allen
This
just
time it is
shredding
Katron Allen
tacklers,
who's
and then
got some
finally being
space
brought down.
across the
I believe that
20.
was
He'll
Dylan Milbury. So 1st and 10 from their own 25. Ari Allen back in motion. And just a little quick pass to the slot. Ari Allen tries to get the sideline, stays on his feet, spins, evades one, and another flag coming in.
That was great balance by Ari Allen on the sideline with the spin move, able to keep his feet in bounds. They brought him across in motion, and the Bulls were playing man-to-man coverage, so his defender had to run all the way across the formation to try to keep up with him, got picked off a little bit as he went across the middle formation. Allen was open in the flat and able to make a big gain out of a short throw.
And it's a personal foul face mask against Miami Northwestern, so after the big play by number 4 for IMG Academy, they're going to get 15 more yards. So it's going to be a shorter field for the Ascenders, 1st and 10 from the Bull 30. J.J. McCarthy with Katron Allen on his left hip. Katron Allen, one of the top juniors in the country. J.J. McCarthy looking for the deep ball, just a little too long. That one intended for Malik McLean, incomplete.
McCarthy had McLean open, just overthrew that a little bit. A positive sign for him, though. He had plenty of time to throw the football. That was a really solid pocket that the Ascender offensive line created for him. The Bulls were not able to get any pressure in his face. If he's able to set up and survey the defense like that, he's going to be able to pick it apart.
Now McCarthy. Ari Allen has a tailback. This time they'll hand to Katron Allen, running left side, cuts up field at 30, the 20 to the 10, and he is shoved out of bounds, but not before moving the chains for the Ascenders. And they are in the red zone and just knocking on the door of the goal line.
The Ascenders bring their own version of thunder and lightning in the backfield with Lavassier Carroll and Katron Allen. Katron Allen is more of that power back. Both of these backs average huge numbers. Lavassier Carroll, 10 yards per carry. Katron Allen over 7 yards per carry this season.
And now McCarthy will hand to Katron Allen again, trying to run that left side. He puts his shoulder down and is dragged down about the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 4. The Ascenders can still get a first down without getting into the end zone, albeit only about a yard difference between the goal line and the line to gain. A beautiful night for football here in Bradenton, Florida. Temperature in the mid to low 70s at kickoff. Now McCarthy, handoff to Katron Allen up the middle. Breaks through and into the end zone. No flags. Touchdown Ascenders.
Katron Allen showed great vision on that play. He cut it back. He saw an opening. He cuts it back to the left and then spins all the way into the end zone off of 3 tacklers.
And into the end zone.
No
flags. Touchdown Ascenders.
Power and vision on that play.
Katron Allen.
Katron Allen, one of the top juniors in the country, currently ranked as the number 143 junior prospect. He has 16 offers from Division I schools as that kick is up and good. Again, also Tyler Booker, the number 18 junior in the country. Kamari Wilson, the number 41 junior. Dane Shore is hurt tonight, but the number 107 junior. Dalen Everett, the number 203 prospect, and Dominic James, number 263. That's just the juniors. We'll get to some of the seniors, including the number 5 offensive line, or the number 1 offensive lineman in the country, the number 5 prospect in the entire country, J.C. Latham. He will be spending his freshman year of college at the University of Alabama, as will wide receiver Ja'Cory Brooks, who we did not see on that first drive. Didn't need to. After Lavassier Carroll went off the field after the holding from the 91-yard touchdown run that was called back, Katron Allen just works his way downfield for IMG along with the help of Ari Allen, and just a picture-perfect drive minus the penalty for the Ascenders, and they're up 7-0 with 10:03 remaining in the first.
They came out and they struck first. They enforced their will. That drive moved very quickly. There was a lot of energy on that drive, and the Ascenders executed at a really high level. That's a great start for them.
Gavin Marshall, the kicker for this IMG national team, one of 3 programs currently in action for the Ascenders. This one booted into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Marshall with just a strong enough leg, and you can see the frustration. That is Steve Augustine, normally wears number 14. He's wearing number 4 tonight, as Ja'Cory Hammett unable to play, but because he fielded that in the end zone, that will go down as a touchback. And now we will see starting quarterback Taryn Dixon, the sophomore, and of course, one of the other members of the ESPN 300, Romello Brinson, number 1, the wide receiver committed to go play at the U, the University of Miami, on the field. And this one batted up at the line of scrimmage. That is Xavion Sori, who is currently the number 20 recruit in the country. 16 offers, including Alabama, the Big 3 from Florida, and other SEC, ACC, and Big 10 schools. Xavion Sori, just one of the absolute athletic freaks on the field. And now the hand, this one up the middle for Northwestern, trying to get into Ascender territory, finally brought down O.J. Burrows. Again, for any of the seniors or juniors on this Miami Northwestern team, they had nightmares of number 3 for IMG last year. We mentioned in the pregame, 4 interceptions in one game, including a pick 6 that helped seal that victory. And now this time, nothing doing. That is Terrell Foster getting there, tackling Sadiq Jackson. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Sadiq Jackson busted through for that big gain a couple of plays. There was a nice hole that was opened up. He barreled downhill to get the first down. The Bulls tried to line up quickly and snap the ball before IMG could get set on first down, but they weren't able to take advantage of it. IMG rallied. No gain for the Bulls. So we got 2nd and 10 now.
Taryn Dixon has 3 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Now the snap, he drops, pressure coming, looking across the middle, and it's intercepted. It's O.J. Burrows again. His 5th interception against Miami Northwestern, his first of the night. And just as we said it, O.J. Burrows comes up big and gives the Ascender offense the ball back.
O.J. Burrows has been an absolute nightmare over the last 2 seasons for the Bulls. That was an errant throw. It was a high ball. He had 2 in-breaking routes, and he was trying to hit one of them, but it was just a high throw, and Burrows did a great job making a break on the ball, reading it, and picking that thing off. So the Ascenders are set up with great field position on the plus side of the 50 heading in here, and the Bulls really are reeling at this point.
Weston Adams and Sean Miller, your wide receivers, split out to the right. J.J. McCarthy now with Lavassier Carroll back on his right hip. 1st and 10 from the Bull 47. McCarthy drops. Carroll blocking great. McCarthy off the back foot looking deep, and it's caught! Touchdown, IMG! Sean Miller on a beautiful route down that far right sideline, and J.J. McCarthy showing why he has one of the best arms in the country. Just drops it right into the hands of Sean Miller. Touchdown Ascenders.
Ryan, I told you that the time that McCarthy had in the pocket did not bode well for the Bulls. Well, that was taken advantage of because that was a double move. Miller ran a deep out and up, but McCarthy had time. It takes a lot of time for that route to develop, and the offensive line did an incredible job of giving him that time. It was a perfectly thrown ball and a beautifully executed play for the Ascenders.
Now for Marshall, snap back, hold down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 8:42 remaining after the one play, 47-yard drive. The Ascenders lead the Bulls 14-0. Josh, I don't think we anticipated it being that quick of a get-out for the Ascenders.
No, and I know that's not what the Bulls were hoping for. You know, they came in here ready to battle nose to nose with the number one team in the country, but the Ascenders have come out and jumped all over them, so they really have to gather themselves here at this point because this could get wildly out of control for them in a hurry.
So 14-0. Again, we mentioned the scores from the previous meetings. First time they played, quarterback Zach Anixtad actually had 3 interceptions for IMG Academy, but the Ascenders were able to come back. They won 21-0. And then the next year, 2018, 34-7 was the Ascender victory. And then last year we mentioned 24-7. So they have outscored Miami Northwestern in their 3 meetings by a score of 79-14. And now just adding on, making it 93-14.
That's some quick math, Ryan. I'm not equipped for it.
Well, IMG, not just an athletic factory, it is also a high school first. These are student athletes, and they do take their academics very seriously here at IMG Academy, not just for football, but also basketball, lacrosse, baseball, golf, soccer, tennis. On the kickoff, and now a long field for Miami Northwestern. It'll be 1st and 10, and quarterback Taryn Dixon is going to hope to erase the memory. He wants to be a goldfish with that 10-second memory and forget about that interception he just threw.
You have to have a short memory to play this game. You play one play at a time, and if you've made a mistake, you have an opportunity on the very next play or the next time that you have a possession to go out there and execute. And hopefully, for Dixon's sake, he's able to put that behind him and go out and make some plays for the Bulls on this drive.
And they'll try to run to the outside, and that stout defensive line of IMG will bend, not break. And that is number 6, Zabari Mobley. And you see IMG, even though they've got the outside 3 victories, playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, a little extra edge there. You see O.J. Burrows trying to strip the ball.
I think IMG definitely is taking to heart protecting their house. Miami Northwestern is coming in as one of the highest-ranked teams they've played this season. And I know that there's been a lot of talk leading up to this matchup, and IMG wants to come out and show their dominance, and they've done it thus far.
It will move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line of Miami Northwestern.
At the very least, Miami Northwestern needs to possess the ball and get a few first downs to keep their defense off the field.
And now trying that little slip route down the sideline and pushed out. That is Steve Augustine. Normally wears number 14, gets into IMG territory. He's wearing the number 4 tonight.
That's a smart play call by the Bulls staff to get Dixon some confidence. Just a short screen ball and a beautifully executed play. Augustine bounced that in and back up the field, and he showed his speed, but it looks like it may be coming back.
And did not see any penalty flag on the field. It was 1st and 10 from the 35, and it was a hold, so it'll stay 1st down, but
that's a really unfortunate penalty for Miami Northwestern. They had just made their first really big offensive play and were starting to gather some momentum themselves, and now they're heading the wrong direction.
Now Dixon takes the snap, the hand right up the middle. They've got some space and just running in to Marcavius Brown.
Deshaun Trowers on the run, some hard running.
And Marcavius Brown, the number 231 prospect on the ESPN 300. Defensive back has 13 offers, including Alabama and all 3 Power 5 Florida schools. And an incomplete pass. This one intended out of the backfield for, I believe that was number 3, Jalen Rogers. And incomplete will bring up third and about 4 on the play.
Dixon has been a little bit erratic at quarterback early, and that's hurting the Bulls' chances of putting together any type of consistency in a drive. He's got to calm things down and start to just throw balls that can be caught and completed and advanced here.
We'll see what the Bulls have in their back pocket, trying to keep this drive alive and keep that Ascender offense off the field. They'll send a man in motion. Now the snap. Dixon looks across the middle, and with alligator arms, that is Jay Celestine.
That was a well-thrown ball by Dixon. He put that one on the money. He put it right over the linebacker, in between the hole, between the linebacker and the safety on that in-breaking route. And Celestine just took his eyes off the ball, didn't look it all the way in, was looking to make a big play rather than just securing the catch. And that's really unfortunate because that definitely would have been a first down and would have kept that drive moving.
And this early would not be surprised with where they are on the field to potentially see a fake with 4th and 3 from the 42. Sometimes that's the only way to try to get past this IMG Academy national team, the number 1 team in the nation. The snap is back, pressure coming, almost blocked, and that's going to be Poison. And it will be downed at the Ascender 35, 1st and 10, but a solid defensive showing from the Ascender defenders. And they'll put the best quarterback, well, I would argue the best quarterback in the nation, back on the field.
We're not partial. J.J. McCarthy, if not the best, he's one of the best in the nation, and he showed why. That last ball that he threw on that out and up was just a perfectly thrown football. He was so confident and patient to let that route develop.
From their own 36-yard line, it's Katron Allen accompanying J.J. McCarthy in the backfield. 2 receivers to each side. Now McCarthy takes the snap, rolls to his right. It's designed to Katron Allen. He cuts back, stays on his feet, and it takes about another 2 or 3 Bulls to drag him. It was Katron Allen, though, getting the Bulls by the horn on that one, and a nice pass and catch from J.J. McCarthy to Katron Allen.
The Bulls brought pressure. They brought a blitz, and the linebacker popped right through, but McCarthy just calmly rolled to his right, and Allen made a great play there in the flat.
And Allen right up the middle, strong for 5 or 6 yards, will get the first down. And now the Ascenders knocking on the door of Bull territory.
You know, we haven't seen Lavoisier Carroll since that huge run that he reeled off on his first ever touch in the game. It's been the Katron Allen show since that point, and Allen has shown the total package. He's shown his versatility to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield and his powerful running.
And the official FHSAA water break will come up. We'll take this time to thank our sponsors, Gatorade, Under Armour, and Zenith. Gatorade keeping our Ascenders well hydrated, Under Armour keeping our Ascenders well dressed, and Zenith keeping them well protected. Gatorade, Under Armour, and Zenith, they are your sponsors for IMG Academy football on IMG Academy TV. So 1st and 10 as we break the water break from their own 49-yard line. And the last time on the last drive, J.J. McCarthy, a 1-play drive, 47-yard pass to Sean Miller. And now McCarthy, pressure coming. He's got time, looking for the deep ball, has a man. It is caught! Touchdown, 51 yards. Oh, my goodness. What a pass to Malik McClain. Touchdown Ascenders.
J.J. McCarthy showed a lot on that play because, again, that route took a while to develop, and he did a great job of moving within the pocket. There was pressure, but he did a good job. This is something Tom Brady is great at, moving within the pocket to buy himself more time, and then he threw a perfect post ball to Malik McClain. It's good to see McClain get his hands on the ball and get in the end zone again, and he was happy about it with that dance.
Malik McClain ranked number 262 on the ESPN 300, committed to play his college football at Florida State. Gavin Marshall, snap back, hold down, kick up, and good. With 6:04 remaining in the first quarter, the Ascenders up 3 scores already, 21-0. Wow.
Well, the Ascenders have come out so sharp tonight. You could just tell it from the second snap of the game that they were absolutely ready for this matchup, and they are throwing the kitchen sink at Miami Northwestern, and Miami has not been able to withstand it thus far. They need to really get it together because the points are mounting up here, and they are down big in the first quarter.
Important to note that the Miami schools down in Dade and Broward County did get a late start to the season because coronavirus was such a hot spot down in the Miami area, so they do only have the one game to their name so far. Again, we've mentioned IMG has taken it to the Bulls in previous seasons, and each of those last 3 matchups, these are back-to-back-to-back state champions in the state of Florida, which is not an easy thing to do, to win 1 title, let alone 3 in consecutive years. So don't expect this game to be over just yet, but IMG right now showing why they are the number 1 team in the country.
They are, but it is important to note that Miami has only played 1 game, and the Ascenders have played 6. So that experience throughout the season, it does play in IMG's favor.
Marshall with the boot. This one will have a chance to be returned. It's fielded at the 1. And pressure coming in. Beautiful coverage. Believe that was Trevon Howard. And Celestine is just tripped up. Trevon Howard, just an absolutely beautiful read on that coverage, and is able to trip him up and give Miami Northwestern a long way to go.
That was a great special teams play by Howard. He was flying down on the coverage team, and he was able to chop down that ball carrier before he got loose because he showed some speed. If he was able to get past Howard, he might have been able to reel off another 20 or so yards on that return.
So 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. Aaron Dixon. Got one to Jalen Rogers. And we'll get a few yards on the play, and the clock will continue to wind. Again, for those of you maybe tuning in from outside the state of Florida, if the Ascenders are able to get out to a 35-0 lead, the second half will be entirely a running clock. And now just trying to catch the Ascenders on their heels with a little no huddle, as that one, again, you're not going to have much success trying to run in between the 2 tackles. This defensive line is absolutely insane in size and strength. Now the hand up the middle, trying to run in between the tackles again, and forward progress is stopped, and this might force a very tough situation for Miami Northwestern. If it's 4th down, they're taking a look. We'll see where the official spot is.
Number 95, Paul Hudson, flexing his muscle after that stop. It looks like he did hold the Bulls short, so it's going to be 4th down, and they're going to bring out the punt unit, and this would be a heck of a time to call a fake, and I don't mean in a good way. It would take a lot of guts to call a fake at this point. The problem is that the Ascenders are just rolling offensively. The Bulls haven't been able to stop them at all, and punting the ball back to them at this point is a scary proposition. Not only that, but Lavassier Carroll is back to return the kick, and the last time he touched the ball, it was a house call.
So 4th and short, and my anticipation here would be that one of these sides might be taking a timeout. They'll actually take the delay of game. So that maybe takes away the fake a little bit more.
Well, they're not going to fake it now, but that's not a penalty they wanted to take. You don't want to back yourself up there.
Leo Zuazo, your punter. Good snap, pressure coming, almost blocked. This one will go end over end and very close to bouncing off of, I believe that was Marcavius Brown, almost catching him in the back of the leg. Instead, the Ascenders with about a 64-yard field to go to get into the end zone and try and put an exclamation point on this game in the first quarter. Again, the two last touchdown passes from J.J. McCarthy, 47 and 51 yards respectively. And he did not play against Bishop Sycamore 2 weeks ago. He had a knock that he was trying to recover from, and showing now that he's pretty much back at 100%, if not 110 from what we've seen so far.
He looks recovered. He looks great tonight. He's been very, very sharp. That punt was about the best the Bulls could hope for. They got a very friendly bounce.
And now McCarthy with the hard count will draw an encroachment and give the Ascenders 5 free yards. So 1st and 10 will turn into 1st and 5 from the Ascenders' own 41. It is Lavoisier Carroll in the backfield with J.J. McCarthy. Trips to the right. Now the snap. And the pitch out to Lavoisier Carroll. Breaks up at the 40. Has some space into Bull territory. Good for the first down and then some. And another Ascender first down.
IMG really hasn't had any negative offensive plays, save the penalty that brought back Carroll's touchdown. Everything they've done has worked thus far.
10 yards for Lavoisier Carroll on that play. Now McCarthy with the snap. Pressure coming. Ari Allen helping with the block. Looking for the home run ball again. And just over the head. Believe that was Weston Adams.
McCarthy again moving around in the pocket, buying himself time. The only thing he could have done different on that play was put a little bit more touch on that ball. Give Weston Adams just a little bit more opportunity to run under, a little bit more margin of error. But he's been so sharp thus far tonight. Not much to critique on J.J. McCarthy's performance.
Allen in motion. He fakes to Allen. Lavoisier Carroll gets it at the 50, cuts upfield and just barrels forward. And might be just shy by inches. We'll see where the official spot is. And they will put it at the 39-yard line. And they will move the chains. It'll be first down.
Both Lavoisier Carroll and Katron Allen have shown impeccable ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, which just makes them even more attractive for the colleges that they're going to go represent.
Ari Allen to the right hip of J.J. McCarthy. He goes in motion. Now McCarthy drops, looking. Out to the sideline and intended for Miller. He was on the receiving end of that 47-yard touchdown pass a couple drives ago. That one just outside of his outstretched arms, and it'll be incomplete.
Miller broke open on that corner pattern late. McCarthy just a little bit too much on it, threw it out of bounds.
Ari Allen and Malik McLean to the near side. Lavoisier Carroll remains in at running back. I believe that's Sean Miller and Weston Adams to the right. McCarthy drops, has some room, and this one tipped as it comes out of the hands of J.J. McCarthy, who goes down, and Ari Allen was unable to recover. And there is an Ascender down. Looks like he's just a little shaken up, getting up on his own power. And that is the big man, Greg Crippen. He will actually block for J.J. McCarthy for the next few years at the University of Michigan as well, with that teammate connection. Also saw that a few years ago. Another previous IMG alum in Shea Patterson, who originally went to Ole Miss, and then had Cesar Ruiz, IMG Academy's highest draft pick ever, block for him at University of Michigan for his last couple of years. Now McCarthy on the high snap just fires one. And Malik McLean unable to reel it in. And a late flag coming in.
They're going to get number 22, Timothy Burns, for early contact. He made a good break on that curl route, but he got there right before the ball did and made contact. They're going to get him, I think, for pass interference.
And we'll take another look and see. And yeah, from that look, he is draped on Malik McClain before he got there. So we saw the one penalty erase the 91-yard touchdown from Lavassier Carroll, and there on a big, what would have been third down, now turns into a first down for the Ascenders and 15 free yards. So 1st and 10 from the Bull 24. Definitely striking distance for IMG Academy. McCarthy with 2 receivers to the right, Ari Allen in motion. And the handoff to Lavassier Carroll, and he is stopped in the backfield. Not something that we are accustomed to seeing, but this Northwestern defense starting to get into a little bit of a groove, and we'll see Lavassier Carroll head back to the sideline. Katron Allen will come back out for the Ascenders.
Number 56, Michael Marshall, pierced through the Ascenders offensive line to get to Carroll before he could get started, get that tackle for loss.
Now Allen on the left hip of J.J. McCarthy. Takes the snap. McCarthy just quickly fires out. It's Sean Miller again, cuts upfield to the 15, to the 10, fights forward, and the ball is on the ground. And no celebration from Miami Northwestern. It looks like the Ascenders were able to recover it.
It's a lucky break for IMG to be able to get back on that ball. Miller was open in the flat. The Bulls were playing man coverage, so as soon as he broke out, he had position. McCarthy gave him an accurate pass, and he was able to turn upfield and get some pretty solid yardage out of it, but he fumbled the ball as contact was made and was able to recover it.
Now McCarthy with the snap. It's high. Looking across the middle, it's deflected up, and McCarthy almost pulling a Brett Favre and catching his own deflected pass. And he would have tried to bring that one in. That would have been an interesting stat, a play you definitely don't see. But again, also one of the most mythical passes in NFL history with Brett Favre's, I believe it might have been even one of his first completions ever.
To himself?
Ended up being to himself. It'll bring up 2nd and goal for the Ascenders from the Northwestern 7. McCarthy, empty backfield. Takes the snap. He rolls to his left. Pressure coming. He has a man. And into the end zone, Katron Allen.
Great play design from the Ascenders. You can tell they're taking advantage of the Bulls' man-to-man coverage. That's another time tonight that they bring motion across the formation, and that's where the confusion is. It's hard to cover a guy as he runs all the way behind the lineman across the formation, and they caught him in it and were able to hit Katron Allen in the flat for a wide-open touchdown. He walked in.
A minute 16 remaining in the first quarter. And the Ascenders are running away with this 28-0 with a minute 16 remaining over Miami Northwestern. And after taking about a 3.5-hour bus ride, again, when you come into a game and you're up, again, a similar feeling that I'm well aware of last year when IMG went up to St. Francis and lost 35-7 in a game that was number 3 IMG Academy taking on anywhere from number 4 to number 7 in the country, St. Francis Academy, and coming away with a loss. The first loss that I ever called for a national team for IMG Academy. They have never lost here at home. So to have that kind of national recognition and then look up at the scoreboard and you're still in the first quarter being down 28-0. Josh, if you're Miami Northwestern, how do you bounce back from that and try to get some points on the board?
I think they got to slow everything down. They tried to come out and tempo the Ascenders back, and sometimes that works when you change tempos on somebody, like almost like an Oregon-type offense. You come out and you hit them fast before they can get set. I think they need to slow things down. They need to possess the ball. They need to get a few first downs. They need to be very selective about what plays they run. They have to get points on the board here if they're going to make this game remotely competitive.
Gavin Marshall gets the leg into it, fielded in the end zone, and the touchback. And again, just to put into perspective, there's over about 25,000 high schools in the country that play high school football. The ESPN 300 takes the top 300 prospects from the junior and senior classes. So already just to have your school recognized, you have less than a 1% chance of having a player represented on the ESPN 300 for either the juniors or the seniors. Right now, IMG, out of the 600 upperclassmen that ESPN recognizes as the top recruits, 14 of them are playing on this field. So an absolute uphill climb coming for Miami Northwestern and a flag coming in.
To your point, Ryan, this is the highest level of high school football that you're going to see in the nation. There's a reason that IMG is ranked number 1. They've earned that ranking. They've got talent at every position. They've got depth at every position. They have fantastic coaching facilities and all of it. Miami Northwestern brings several top flight players in here as well. This is one of the best collection of high school talent that you're going to see. So if you like watching high quality high school football, this is what you should be watching tonight.
Close to 50 Division I prospects on the field tonight. And Northwestern now needing to get back into this game, and a quick throw out into the flat and going nowhere fast. Nick James able to break out in coverage there and help stop that play. Clock will continue to run. Under 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And the IMG defense just being absolutely dominant. Here you see Kamari Wilson. He is the number 41 junior in the country. 20 Division I Power 5 offers, including University of Southern California and University of South Carolina. And don't think there's a Power 5 school that someone on this field for IMG Academy does not have an offer from.
This is an important down for the Bulls. They've got a third and manageable. They need to get this first down. So whatever they can do out of their playbook to figure out a way to get somebody free to pick up this first down, to try to keep IMG's offense off the field, to try to gain some momentum back and get points on the board here, they need to figure it out.
That is how the first quarter will end after 12 minutes of play. IMG Academy 28, Miami Northwestern 0. You're watching Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV. Welcome back, IMG Academy Stadium. 3rd and 4 for Northwestern Bulls. They are now attacking from south to north here in Bradenton, right to left on your screen. Now the snap from Dixon. They'll run to the near side. He'll get the first down. And trying to get through Marcavius Brown, unable. But not until they get into IMG Academy territory and get the first down.
Zubri Mobley bounced that to the outside. That was so important for the Bulls to get that first down. That was desperately needed. So Mobley did a great job bouncing that to the outside and advancing it to get the first down.
1st and 10, 40 yards away from getting their first points. Now the snap, Dixon. And dancing right through the line of scrimmage and almost finding daylight. That is Cameron, it looked like it might have been Cameron Kitchens, wearing number 5. He is listed as a free safety on the roster.
I thought it was Mobley again, but these numbers are really hard to see. these yellow numbers on these white jerseys.
Now, Taryn Dixon will go right back up the middle after having some success on the last play, and they might go with the old football mantra, Josh, of 3 yards in a cloud of dust. If they can get 3 yards on every play, that'll help march them down the field, but time becoming the enemy of Miami Northwestern early in the second quarter. They'll take a timeout. Will the Ascenders? We will take it with them. 28-0. The Ascender lead over the Bulls. This is Ascender football on IMG Academy TV.
This is your game. You live it, breathe it, dream it. And so do we. We design it, test it, build it, and repeat. This is what you live for. Zenith. Live your game.
Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium now. 2nd and 4. This pass into the flat and tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Believe that was Jalen Rogers, the junior running back, and quickly broken down by Marcavius Brown. It'll bring up 3rd, although the scoreboard saying 4th and 4. The line, the chain gang has it at 3rd down. And we have had some confusion here at IMG Academy Stadium before when it comes to down and distance from the chain gang. And it is, in fact, 3rd and 4. Now the snap, Dixon the hand, right up the middle and losing his footing. An unfortunate break. It was Deshaun Trowers, and lost his footing trying to cut up field, and that'll bring up 4th down, and now a flag. And a very late flag. Didn't look like there was any kind of contact, and this is going to be something that is probably
a personal foul and probably something a player said, to be honest. It was after the play. I saw a couple of IMG players kind of near an official, and it looked like there might be some jawing going on.
It is unsportsmanlike conduct against the Ascenders, and I think that might be why we saw Marcavius Brown come off the field, and while he was giving Miami Northwestern an earful is all we can assume, I have to assume that he's going to be getting the same earful from that IMG coaching staff.
Coaches hate that when you shoot yourself in the foot. It's a little bit selfish when you're out there, and yeah, talking trash is a little bit a part of the game, but at the same time, you got to be respectful of your opponent, and especially of the officials. They will throw that flag, and it puts the Bulls in the best position they've been in all night.
Now the snap, the hand up the middle, trying to get into the end zone. Touchdown Bulls.
A costly penalty. Costly penalty put the Bulls even deeper inside of IMG territory, and they were able to capitalize. So we'll see here if the Bulls are able to come out after this and do anything to stop the IMG attack that has been an absolute juggernaut thus far this evening. But finally the Bulls are on the board here, and it's about time.
A rushing touchdown from 10 yards out for Miami Northwestern, showing some signs of life. But again, you talk about shooting yourself in the foot, Josh, and that was going to be a 4th down and 4 and possibly only 3 points for Miami Northwestern. But after the unsportsmanlike conduct gives them 4 free downs, and on the first one from scrimmage, they're able to punch it into the end zone.
Now, IMG has a lot of cushion here because of how well they've played. But you don't want to make mistakes like that, especially extending a drive, taking away somebody having to convert on a 4th down or kick a field goal. Like you said, it goes from either 0 points or 3 points to 7, so that's a big swing. And in a closer game, that could cost you, that could lose you a football game.
Now on for the point after. They'll move back 5 yards after a false start. And almost blocked, but it's up and good with 9:44 remaining in the half. Ascenders lead now only 3 scores. It's 28-7 after a very methodical drive by Miami Northwestern and a couple of free plays from the IMG defense on penalties. And the Bulls are on the board for the first time. It took a little over 14 minutes, but they are in business. And again, looking against the number 1 team in the country, that's got to be, you got to take your positives where you can see them, Josh. And for Miami Northwestern, they're going to hopefully carry that high and try and stop the IMG offense on this next drive.
Well, they've got to figure out a way to come up with stops. They haven't been able to put any pressure on McCarthy, and that's going to be a pivotal factor because they're going to need to force some turnovers. If they have any hope of getting back into this game and actually making it competitive, they're going to have to steal some possessions. And the way to do that is force turnovers. But they're going to need to put pressure on McCarthy, and the Ascender offensive line has not given up anything yet thus far. So we'll see if the defensive coordinator for the Bulls is able to come up with anything scheme-wise to generate that, because going mano-a-mano with the Ascenders thus far is not working out.
Josh, if you're Miami Northwestern and their coaching staff right now, how likely are you to possibly try and catch IMG Academy off guard and maybe just try and top this kick and possibly try and recover it on a little bit of a standard look offside or onside kick opportunity?
I think that is a very real possibility. I mean, what do you have to lose at this point, because you're already down 3 touchdowns? The likelihood of coming back from that is not good, and like I was just talking about, you got to steal possessions somewhere. So they may be setting up for a surprise onside.
And they do just boot it deep, and this one fielded at the 5-yard line. And that is Ari Allen changing direction, cuts upfield at the 30, shakes a tackle at the 35, 40. He's into Bull territory to the 40, to the 35, 30, 25, 20. Cuts back, shakes, stays on his feet into the red zone, down just shy of the 10-yard line.
An electrifying return by Ari Allen. You know, we thought that they were going to try a surprise onside. I know that that is not what they wanted their kicker to do. They either wanted him to kick it into the end zone or they wanted him to put it on the ground. But what they ended up getting was one that bounced right to Allen, which is extremely returnable. He was able to take a full head of steam, and man, was he just electric on that return. He broke tackles. He cut across the field. He just showed his athleticism, and the Ascenders again are in business at about the 10-yard line heading in.
1st and 10 from the Bull 13 on just about a 90-yard return for Ari Allen. The pitch to Katron Allen cuts upfield at the 10. A flag comes flying out in the neighborhood of a block in the back or potentially a hold, and it is a hold, so that will stay first down for IMG Academy, but they will be back outside of the red zone after the 10-yard penalty is enforced.
Miami will take that penalty at this point. With all the momentum rolling in IMG's way, they need anything they can to help back up the Ascenders.
9 minutes, 11 seconds remaining. Don't forget, we will have IMG Academy post-grad football right back here tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. The IMG post-grad team coming off their first ever win last week here at IMG Academy Stadium. Now 1-1 on this young season. They were taking on Field of Dreams Academy out of Newport Richey. Just an absolutely dominating and convincing win. Ascenders national team having a bye week last week, so giving their players last time they played here at home, it was against Bishop Sycamore. They had 8 national team players injured and not playing. Tonight, just 1, Dane Shore. So offsetting unsportsmanlike penalties as well. And they'll enforce the hold. And that will bring the ball back to, looks like the 28-yard line. 1st and 25 for the Ascenders. And Malik McLean all alone in man coverage on the near side. One man in motion is Weston Adams. McCarthy looking across the middle. And that was in between McLean and Sean Miller. It'll bring up 2nd and 25.
Miami was able to generate a little bit of pressure. They brought a stunt up front, and one of their D linemen was coming free and got in McCarthy's face, forced him to throw that ball a little bit sooner than I think he wanted to, and it wasn't an accurate pass. He did have McLean open.
And now McCarthy dropping, rolling to his right, and makes an adjustment in the air looking for Sean Miller, and that'll fall incomplete, almost intercepted.
Again, the Bulls brought pressure, and they were able to get McCarthy out of the pocket. He was running and forced another errant pass. So that's one thing I talked about going into this drive was how are they going to get McCarthy off his spots and try to make him a little bit uncomfortable because he's been so accurate and comfortable all night, and they've done it on this drive. So now we've got a 3rd and long set up, and I would suspect that the Bulls are going to bring pressure again and see if they can force a turnover or an incompletion.
3rd and 25, Ari Allen and Malik McLean to the near side. This time they find Ari Allen on the out route, and J.J. McCarthy just a little too quick and a little too long on the release outside of the reach and the outstretched arms of Ari Allen. And we'll see Gavin Marshall try to come on for a field goal.
If there's anything positive to look for Miami at this point, that was a great stand by their defense after that huge return that they gave up to Ari Allen. That penalty really helped them out and backed the Ascenders up. And now they're holding them to a field goal attempt, and potentially they could block or there could be a miss. And
Jackson Zager, the holder, going for a fake to Ari Allen. Jackson Zager sends Ari Allen into the end zone on the fake field goal on 4th and 25, and it pays off. Touchdown Ascenders. Are you kidding me?
Oh, IMG caught the Bulls sleeping. Ari Allen looked like he had left the field. It was the old trick 'em play. Ari Allen was just right by the sideline. He was still in bounds. He never left the field of play, and no Bull left the formation to go guard him. He was completely uncovered, and they just caught the Bulls sleeping. That was a great play call, gutsy play call by the IMG coaching staff, and it was beautifully executed. Now, we've got the officials huddled up here. They're having a conversation, not sure what that's about.
And Ari Allen was running off the field. So technically he would be a man in motion, and that is exactly what the officials were having a conference about. The touchdown will stand. Jackson Zager, the 3rd quarterback on the depth chart for IMG Academy, but showing that deep, about a 35-yard throw, finds a wide open Ari Allen. And just absolutely heartbreaking for Miami Northwestern. Now the hold down by Zager, the kick up by Marshall, and it's good with 8:30 remaining in the half. IMG on 4th and 25 makes it 35-7. Wow.
You can tell that IMG is shooting to get that 35-point lead to try to have a running clock in the second half. I mean, that's not the only reason they're doing that, but that was a heck of a call. That's something that you know that you've worked on throughout the season. You're holding on to it. You're holding on to it for that special situation, and they decided to bust it out here against Miami Northwestern to extend their lead. So great coaching, well executed by the Ascenders.
And for Miami Northwestern, again, with IMG Academy being the #1 team in the nation, you have the biggest bullseye on your back. And for Miami Northwestern, you have nothing to lose. IMG, if they go out and they lay an egg one week, again, they're all of a sudden out of the national conversation. So they want to make sure that there's going to be no surprises coming from any national competitor at any level.
That's a lot of pressure to carry week in and week out when you've got the #1 ranking in the country. You've got that giant target on your back, and the Ascenders have carried it well. They've carried it with pride this season, and they've come out to play every single week. They have not laid an egg. I can't even remember a half, really, where they've come out and they haven't played well. So they've been well prepared all season long by this phenomenal coaching staff.
And this time they will let him bring it out of the end zone. Fielded at the 1 and probably should have let the touchback happen. as he is stood up at the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 with about 85 yards for the Bulls to answer.
That was great coverage by the entire kickoff squad for the Ascenders. They swarmed, tackled, everybody stayed in their lanes, and they just closed the net in on the returner for the Bulls. So they take the ball 1st and 10 at about their own 15-yard line heading out.
Thank you for spending your Friday night with us here in Bradenton, Florida. Just about 45 minutes south of the Tampa Bay area on the Gulf Coast of Florida, and quickly into the backfield and stood up are the Miami Northwestern Bulls. And that is Paul Hudson III. And you see there, he is not slender in frame.
Paul Hudson helps us out. I know when Paul Hudson makes a play because I get to see the flex.
Now 2 receivers to each side. This one to that far sideline. It is caught. Again, apologize for not having the immediate identity. That is, though, the future Miami Hurricane, Romello Brinson. Number 1 on the Bulls, number 137 on the ESPN 300. He will join some former IMG alum at the University of Miami, Brian Hightower and Michael Redding, playing at the U. They'll try to go up the middle on 1st and 10 and in on that tackle.
McCormick and Foster in to make that tackle. McCormick did a good job from his defensive end position getting out to make that play as Foster funneled it in and they combined for the tackle.
2nd and 6 for the Bulls from their own 30-yard line. Now the snap, the hand, they'll try to go up the middle again, and breaking down quickly, Liam McCormick again, an outstretched arm, and he is able to bring down the running back. I believe that is Zabari Mobley.
Mobley's run well tonight. He's had a couple of good runs when he's been able to have room. Mobley definitely runs downhill with power. I think this drive, the Bulls are doing something they need to do, which is possess the football, keep the IMG offense off the field, accumulate some first downs, make some plays, gather some confidence.
1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right of Taron Dixon. Now the snap, they'll go back up the middle. And brought down, it's coughed up, and it's tracking out of bounds, and this ball will stay with Miami Northwestern after the fumble is forced. And what should have been a turnover for Miami Northwestern somehow turns into a 1st down.
Mobley tried to shift that ball. He was in the middle of shifting the ball from his right arm to his left arm. You're taught as a ball carrier to carry the ball in your outside arm. He had it in his right arm. As he tried to make the cut, he went to make the switch, but the ball was still in the middle when contact was made, and that thing popped right out. And the Bulls are so fortunate that that ball rolled out of bounds and wasn't recovered or scooped up and run all the way back by the Ascenders.
The definition of unlucky for IMG Academy. They'll try to run right up the middle. They'll fall forward for 6 on the play, and Xavier Sori there looked like he was trying to scoop and possibly try and get a scoop and score, as we saw Terrell Foster have. And instead, it turns into a 1st down for Miami Northwestern, and now 2nd and 4 from midfield. They'll go up the middle again, and a little counter to the left, getting initial contact. That is Ade Ajanku-Willie.
The Bulls seem to have found something with their running game on this drive. They've been pretty consistently reeling off 3 to 5 yards a carry on this drive and moving it steadily down the field, which is something that they needed to do.
And the hydration break with 5:39 remaining in the half. IMG leads 35-7 over the Miami Northwestern Bulls. This is Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV. Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium. Miami Northwestern Bulls on the move. 1st and 10 from the IMG 38-yard line, trying to get their second score of the game. And they'll keep it on the ground, and this time stuffed right after getting across the line of scrimmage.
Xavion Sorian on that tackle.
And Deshaun Trowers will go off after that touch. Looks like it is Barry Mobley. Back in on the right hip of Taron Dixon. Takes the snap. Looking deep down the field. And giving chase, that was Dalen Everett. And a little too long. Dalen Everett, the number 203 junior, has 20 Power 5 offers, including Clemson, Florida, Pitt, and Miami.
It's quite a list. Everett was step for step out there on that fade ball. He had man coverage. He was able to turn. He's what's called in phase, which means he's basically shoulder to shoulder with the wide receiver, had inside position. That was great coverage by Everett.
Now the snap. Dixon, pressure coming, looks a little throw across the middle and just outside of the fingertips of Fatoma Polk, the sophomore, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Josh, we were just talking about Dalen Everett, but if you look at the other juniors on that ESPN 300, Tyler Booker, Kamari Wilson, Dane Shore, Katron Allen, and Dominic James, between the 6 of them, almost 90 Division I offers.
That's a lot of mail that they're getting in their lockers from all these different universities, sending them recruiting letters, sending them offers. That's an exciting thing. I mean, that's what a lot of these guys come here for, is for that opportunity to go play at the next level. And IMG affords them every opportunity to do that and make the most of themselves.
With 4:50 remaining, Miami Northwestern will take a timeout. We'll keep it here. They are right now at 4th and 7 from the 35-yard line, and we talk about the benefit on some of the other programs here that IMG has in the kicking game. Right now, this 35-yard line mark at high school seems to be that kind of point of no return where you're maybe just a little too far for a field goal but too close to punt. So you almost have to go for it if you don't have a kicker that has the leg to get it about 52 yards.
Most high school kickers do not. And the consistency at the high school level is also a lot less certain. So I would expect, down by this score at this point in the game, I expect the Bulls to go for it.
And it looks like Taron Dixon will come back out onto the field.
Such an important call for the Bulls. Whatever they've got in their bag of tricks to get this yardage, they need to figure it out. So see what their coaching staff comes up with.
Trips right. Dixon takes the snap, almost loses it, and right across the middle. And that's going to be a late hit, as that one again trickles off the fingers of Fatoma Polk. And the IMG defender was just kind of standing there. They might just have a conference. We'll see if they, in fact, do call the personal foul, and they are going to call the personal foul. And he didn't hit him maliciously, just kind of went into that defender. So again on 4th down, the last time the Ascenders gave up a 4th down, 1st down, the next play was a touchdown, the first and only touchdown from Miami Northwestern. So the defense bends. We'll see if they can, again, hold that break.
That's a tough call. The ball is right on the fingertips of the wide receiver, and the safety's coming up. He's trying to make the play, prevent the catch. You don't want to come into that play soft. And the game for the safety position, especially with these catches over the middle, has become so hard with how they call these targeting penalties and what the strike zone is for them.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Knocking on the door of the red zone. This hand will be up the middle, and that is Sadiq Jackson, who definitely does not have a size advantage on anybody on that IMG Academy defensive line. Got Dean Marlin, Paul Hudson, Dominic James, Malik Bryant. And also Liam McCormick, Anthony Hunley. Just an absolutely stout defensive line that has seen such guys as Xavier Thomas for now at Clemson. Just a great history of defensive linemen coming through IMG Academy. Now the high snap for Dixon, and it will be Sadiq Jackson again trying to get past that offensive line with nothing doing.
So the D-line is held strong for IMG, and we're going to have a third and about 5 here for the Bulls. They're probably in 4-down territory here. We don't know what their kicking situation is, but there's a good likelihood down by this score at this point in the game that this is 4-down territory for them.
And the Ascenders will get the ball in the second half, and almost intercepted it is. And they're going to say he was out of bounds. And Dalen Everett with a little bit of a look what I found interception.
Again, they tried to test Everett on the outside. Everett does a great job. He is in phase with the wide receiver. He's chest to chest with him. He turns back to find the football. It's like finding a gift dropped from the sky. He was right there to catch it. It looks like he just had 1 foot out of bounds, unfortunately. Wasn't able to haul it inbounds, but that was great coverage and ball skills by Everett to be able to reel that one in.
4th and 4 for the Bulls. They will come on to attempt the 31-yard field goal attempt. Leo Zuazo. Now the snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. And there is a penalty as that one hit the upright. And it is a false start, so they're going to move them back 5 yards.
That's actually to their advantage since that kick was missed and hit the upright. Now the kicker gets another opportunity here, maybe even a little better angle, because this isn't really a distance situation. That's not a long field goal, so he has a little bit better angle here to try to kick it. He's now got kind of a warm-up swing with his leg. He knows what not to do. The only thing you have sometimes in this situation is an overcorrection by a kicker.
Now waiting. Snap back. The hold is down. The kick is up, and from 36 yards, it is no good. It's wide. So 3:14 remaining, and the Ascenders will have a opportunity to kind of put the cherry on top of the first half, as we have seen some very short drives. We saw the first drive, that 91-yard Lavoisier Carroll touchdown called back on a holding call. And then they marched the ball downfield with Katron Allen to get that first score. And then, of course, the one-play 47-yard drive from J.J. McCarthy, finding Sean Miller. And now the Ascender offense clicking on all cylinders. Ari Allen in motion, the snap. The hand is to Lavoisier Carroll, who's got space. Tries to break through and levels one and loses the football, and it goes out of bounds. It will be a first down. And it's not often you see Lavoisier lose the ball, but it stays with the Ascenders.
Lavoisier was running hard. He was bouncing off tacklers, but as he spins, one of them was able to get a hold of the nose of the ball and just rip it out as he fell down, but it flung the ball directly out of bounds, which is a very fortunate break for the Ascenders.
Now McCarthy drops, looking right, adjusts, and then he falls down.
First time that the Bulls defense is able to get home on McCarthy and actually wrap him up for a sack tonight. You know, this is a really pivotal point in the game. People watching may not know the 35-point rule. And right before the halftime here, it will change the entire complexity of the second half, this 35-point situation. If the Bulls defense is able to hold here, then it is not a running clock at the start of the second half. Maybe, because they do get the ball for the first possession coming out of halftime, they're going to be receiving the kick. So it is so important that they hold here. It could be a 7 or even a 14-point swing. But if they're not able to hold here and they don't score before the end of the half, it's going to be a running clock, and this game is going to end quickly, and there's going to be no chance that they're able to come back in this game.
And it's a defensive hold that brings Miami Northwestern back closer to their end zone. Unfortunate, because it's not often you see J.J. McCarthy get sacked. Doing themselves no favors. 52 yards for J.J. McCarthy to get to the end zone. Ari Allen on his right hip. And Katron Allen now gets the handoff, looking to his right, bursting through. And he'll get 3 yards on the play. The clock will continue to tick away. And also a pivotal drive for the Ascenders, as they will get the ball back in the second half to start. Just about 2 minutes and 30 seconds and counting. Ari Allen back in motion. Now the little swing pass to Ari Allen, cuts up field at midfield and tries to stiff arm one, and he is taken down out of bounds. And now some jawing, as often happens on that far sideline. Take a look there. Nice little Music City Miracle parallel down the sideline there to get Ari Allen out there, and you see the jawing there. Probably had a couple of those situations when you played Harvard while you were at Yale, Josh.
I'm not a big trash talker. I was never a fan of trash talking. I like to do it with my pads. And if somebody trash talked me, my hope was that they would get hung out to dry over the middle when you could still hit someone up high. And I would give them a good solid headshot.
And now McCarthy with the hand to Katron Allen, who shreds one. Up to the 33-yard line. He is brought down. The clock continues to tick away. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And right now, Miami Northwestern not just playing against the 11 on IMG Academy's offense, but that ticking numbers on the clock. And with 2 minutes remaining, it looks like Miami Northwestern is going to take a timeout. We will take it with them. 1:54 remaining in the first half. The Ascenders lead 35-7 over Miami Northwestern. You're watching Ascender football on IMG Academy TV.
Fans, thank you for social distancing, wearing a face mask, and wash your hands every 40 seconds or so. Please stay safe. Thank you.
It's getting a little chilly out here. A little low.
Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium. Don't forget, at the end of this half, we'll have our halftime break. About 15 minutes. Thank you for spending your Friday night with myself, Ryan Sudol, my broadcast partner, Josh Phillips. That of Ivy League, NFL, AFL, and NFL Europe experiences. McCarthy is sacked for a big loss, almost 15 yards on the play.
Number 7, Amari McCray, busts through the Ascender offensive line. That's really only the second time anybody's been able to get their hands on McCarthy. And McCray busted through to send McCarthy for a big loss.
2 receivers to each side. The man in motion is Sean Miller. McCarthy takes the snap. 3rd and 13, looking deep downfield, trying to find a man, and in and out of the hands of Katron Allen. That'll bring up 4th down.
They were trying to set up a screen to Katron Allen, and the Bulls did a good job. They had a couple of their players rush through, but there was a couple that stayed with Allen so that he wasn't wide open, and McCarthy was trying to buy Allen more time, and it was basically a throwaway.
So Gavin Gundiker on to punt for IMG Academy, a guy that doesn't get a whole lot of reps with the national team, as their offense is usually very proficient in finding the end zone. The 4th and 13, back to Gundiker. And this one will sky and bounce end over end. The fair catch is called for, and it's tipped! And coming up with it, it looked like it might have been IMG Academy. And it is, in fact, Miami Northwestern, but not before it goes back inside the 5-yard line, and calling for the fair catch and just missing it unfortunate series of events, and now you can imagine the IMG defense will be licking their chops.
So the Bulls put 2 returners back to avoid this exact type of situation. You put 2 returners back because you say, we're going to make sure that we catch this football. We've got 2 guys back there to cover it. There was a little bit of miscommunication between them. They were both initially calling for the ball, and then it was just misjudged in the air, mishandled, and that could have been the nail in the coffin for the Bulls, but it pins them so deep here with only 59 seconds left in the half.
Cameron Kinchin's absolutely saving Miami Northwestern. O.J. Burrows just missing recovering that and giving the Ascenders about a 10-yard run to get into the end zone. They'll take a timeout with 50.2 seconds remaining. We'll keep it here. Again, we talk about at the professional level, Josh, the importance of special teams, but showing here that at the high school level as well, special teams players can make all the difference.
Special teams plays are responsible for what we like to call chunk yardage, big chunks of yardage, both positive and negative. And at the high school level, there are so many turnover opportunities on special teams, mishandled balls, balls that hit somebody, that touch somebody and are bouncing around and can be recovered. It's just you don't have as much time at the high school level to practice a lot of these things, and a lot of times special teams kind of take the short end of the stick. So special teams are such an opportunity for a team to make up ground and make distance, and unfortunately for the Bulls there, they really put themselves in a bad situation because of a special teams play.
Less than a minute remaining in the first half. Northwestern trailing by 4 scores, and they'll keep it on the ground, and quickly breaking out of there, that is Malik Bryant, I believe on the tackle, number 5 for IMG Academy, just shedding his block, diving to the middle of the field, and 3rd down and long.
Malik Bryant leads the Ascenders with 1.3 sacks per game. He's 6'2", 215 pounds, just a freak athlete on the edge as a linebacker in this defense.
And Malik Bryant, I believe one of those younger players here at the IMG Academy. Again, just so many between the varsity team, the national team, and the post-grad team. Just the amount of athletes. Probably in the last 6 seasons that I've been doing IMG Academy football, Josh, I've probably had an opportunity to call games for close to 200 Division I athletes in just 6 seasons. A school like even Miami Northwestern or St. Thomas Aquinas down in Fort Lauderdale, which boasts 13 NFL players currently, you know, you're not seeing that kind of production. And just last year's draft class alone with 5 IMG Academy players, just unbelievable what this program's been able to build in less than a decade.
And it's only going to get better with what they've been doing, with what they've put together here. You can tell that from this crop that we're watching, the players that are on the field right now, it's just going to continue to go up, the number of Division I scholarship players and NFL players.
And now on 3rd and 6, they will run upfield and will be just shy, so 4th down, and they will probably just allow, with IMG having no timeouts remaining, allow the clock to run out, as the game clock is about 3 seconds ahead of the play clock.
I would expect that they would let that clock run out and just get to halftime, try to go to the locker room, gather their thoughts, figure out what they can do coming out in that first possession of the second half to go down and actually put more points on the board to try to climb back into this contest.
We will step aside for about 15 minutes. The score, IMG Academy 35, Miami Northwestern 7. Again, if you have any questions and you're watching on the Facebook live stream, feel free to drop your questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. Either myself or Josh will try to address them in the second half. You are watching Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV.
Welcome to the Bradenton area, where the easy pace of island life comes naturally in this coastal playground with endless white sand beaches, stunning natural preserves, relaxing vibes all around, and it's a seafood lover's paradise. Stay a while to explore downtown Bradenton with top-rated attractions and a friendly community set along the Bradenton Riverwalk. Come lose yourself in the sun-drenched Gulf Coast of Florida and change your reality in the Bradenton area. Learn more at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Do you really think the greatest of all time just came from nowhere? Of course not. Because everyone starts somewhere, and champions start here. Grown rep by rep, conditioned by pro-level coaches who have earned their stripes. Built in elite camps, training day after day. Drilled until second nature becomes first. Start at IMG Academy.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
You ever have that day? You know, that day, that very moment, you got better. Your better got better. What if that day was every day?
This is your game. You live it, breathe it, dream it. And so do we. We design it, test it, build it, and repeat. This is what you live for. Zenith. Live your game.
IMG Plus online camps take the world-renowned coaching and training methodology that helps create high-performing athletes here on site in Bradenton, Florida, and makes it accessible online, allowing for athletes to the ease and convenience of training without having to travel. While most online training platforms feature only pre-recorded instruction, IMG Academy Plus camps deliver daily live video sessions and interactions with IMG coaches and personalized analysis of your game. So not only do we provide a proven training plan, we evaluate and provide feedback on your progress so you know what to do and how to continue improving. So first you have to select the week that you would choose to partake in the activity. On Monday, you'll have a live video call with your coach that will give you instruction and explanation for the week's curriculum. Next, you'll receive access to your plan for the week. Now, this is going to be specific training that is tied to sports development as well as your APD curriculum. APD will include performance training in areas like movement, mental training, and athletic regeneration. Throughout the week, you're going to record yourself or have someone record your actions. You'll submit those videos to your coach for full analysis, and then they will be returned each day. The process will continue Monday through Friday And at the end of the week, you'll have a full training experience that touches on all of the different aspects in that sport and all levels of development. So the coaches that are going to be working with our virtual campers are going to be the same coaches that work with our student athletes, with our campers, and with our pros that train here on site year-round. They're going to use some of the same methodology that has helped IMG Academy student athletes become some of the world's top athletes.
You think you know us? You think you know what we're about?
One IMG Academy here in Florida.
You think you know what it takes to succeed here? To focus? To grind?
Here we go.
Every single day? You don't even know the half of it.
Let's go!
This here is a brotherhood. We're talking about a got your back now and forever.
Let it out!
Push you harder than you've ever been pushed kind of brotherhood. It's a brotherhood that recognizes the success that came before us and the expectations for us to maintain it. Because the last thing we'd ever do is disappoint our brothers.
24th pick, Cesar Ruiz. 44th pick, Grant Delpit. 46th pick, KJ Hamler.
Scarborough breaks the tackle, surging forward, he's in for the touchdown.
We hear what you're saying. The haters, the doubters, the people who throw shots without any idea of the work we put in and the sacrifices we make. But we'll let you in on a little secret. It doesn't matter. You know why? We hold ourselves to a higher standard than anyone could ever set for us. Work harder. Get stronger. Be smarter. Play faster. Dream bigger.
Unreal. IMG dominating.
This one getting a little out of control.
This is a brotherhood. So you think you know us? Well, you're about to find out.
The academic programs at IMG Academy are designed to be complementary to our athletic programs, but our goal is to be admitted and successful at the nation's most select institutions. The competition that's out on the field or on the court turns over into the classroom where students are looking to push themselves. Each year, we generally feature National Merit Scholars, AP Scholars, the Service Academies, the Ivy Leagues, elite academic D3 institutions, and everywhere in between. Ultimately, we want to provide the best fit for each of our student athletes. The academic program has 3 tracks. First and foremost is our college preparatory track. Then we have a full honors track beginning in 8th grade. And then lastly, we have AP courses for our most academically competitive students. Over the last few years, the academic program has grown both in its physical size, as we recently added 30,000 square feet for an increased number of classrooms, a dedicated English as a second language space, 2 hands-on engineering labs, as well as a broadcast TV studio space. We've increased the overall number of faculty to help keep our class sizes down, as well as add depth and breadth to the curriculum by adding new courses each year. At IMG Academy, our goal is to provide the skills and the knowledge to help our student athletes prepare for success at their chosen college or university.
IMG Academy is easily one of the most unique places in the country.
All right, let's go. Let's get to work.
Every college, every university, every major program in the country comes to IMG to recruit these kids.
LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia's, they're gonna come knocking on our door because our kids are ready to play right away, ready to compete.
If you can prove yourself at IMG, you can go on to the next level and be successful.
you're here for a reason, and this place is filled with the best.
As an athlete, they want to get better every day. And these kids come here because of the competition and be the best that they can be.
What I want here is a family culture. The brotherhood is coming closer together. And as a team, if we think as one, we're going to accomplish a lot of our goals.
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are. But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog, through the unknown. There's only one way. Run.
We're going to talk a little bit about wall training. Let's go.
We're going to go 3 different types of lunges.
Just keep that back flat.
Today we're going to take it through a full body workout. So let's go.
IMG Plus online camps take the world-renowned coaching and training methodology that helps create high-performing athletes here on site in Bradenton, Florida, and makes it accessible online, allowing for athletes to the ease and convenience of training without having to travel. While most online training platforms feature only pre-recorded instruction,
Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium. Getting ready for second half action here in Bradenton. Ryan Sudol alongside my broadcast partner, Josh Phillips, as Miami Northwestern coming out trailing by 28. 35-7 is the score. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in. You can interact and socialize with all platforms of social media for IMG Academy. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow along at IMG Academy. If you're in the Facebook Live chat, feel free to drop any questions. There is some little heightened trash talk going on between some of the IMG fans and the Miami Northwestern fans. A couple people, though, talking about respect to the Bulls for not wanting to play a cream puff schedule. This will prepare them for the Florida High School State Championships, and that it has done the last 3 times that they have played IMG Academy. Even though they have lost all 3 times, they did go on to win 2 6A state championships, and last year a 5A state championship.
I've always believed that if you want to compete at the highest level, you go out and you find the best competition that you can, and that's always going to help prepare you for those tough times, for the most pivotal games of the season. So I think that the Miami Northwestern coaches are doing exactly the right thing by scheduling IMG and playing this battle every year. But IMG came out ready to play tonight. They were firing on all cylinders right from the first snap, and they jumped on top of Miami Northwestern and really haven't looked back. So this first possession of the second half is a really pivotal opportunity for the Bulls to take the ball and potentially come down and get some points on the board. If they're not able to do something here in the first few minutes of the second half, it's going to become a 35-point lead very soon, and that clock's going to start running, and we're all going to be getting ready to head home. So if Miami Northwestern wants to make something out of this ball game and make it competitive, this first drive is going to be absolutely essential for them.
And for IMG Academy, the scoring started out early on the very first drive. The second play from scrimmage, Lavoisier Carroll actually had a 91-yard touchdown run, called back on a holding call. Then just a few plays later, though, it was Katron Allen punching it in. They got the scoring off 7-0. And then on the very first Miami Northwestern drive, O.J. Burrows, he had 4 interceptions against Miami Northwestern last year as a sophomore. This year as a junior, he got one just on the first play from scrimmage, or not the first play from scrimmage for Miami Northwestern, but from their first drive. And then the very next offensive play for IMG Academy after that interception, a 47-yard touchdown pass from J.J. McCarthy to Sean Miller. That made it 14-0. Then the Ascenders forced a punt, and then a couple plays later, a 51-yard touchdown from J.J. McCarthy to Malik McClain made it 21-0. Katron Allen would add a 7-yard touchdown catch that made it 28-0. The Bulls would answer right after that, but then a Jackson Zager fake field goal turned into a 25-yard touchdown pass to Ari Allen from about, it was 30 yards out. It was a 4th and 25. The Ascenders went for the fake. Ari Allen was able to walk that after taking a little spin into the end zone, and that is how we got to where we are, 35-7.
O.J. Burrows would like to play the Bulls every week, I think, with the numbers that he's put up with them over the last couple of seasons. He's made a career versus Miami Northwestern with 5 interceptions in 2 games.
And it was, in fact, I guess we might have had it wrong on the PA here. So the Bulls will actually get the ball to begin the second half. We were originally told that they had deferred, that Ascenders won and deferred. So just a little miscommunication pregame. So the Bulls will have a chance to avoid that running clock again if the Ascenders can get to 42-7 per FHSAA rules. They will institute the running clock where the only stoppage will be for timeouts called by the coaches or the officials, so incomplete passes and first downs will not delay the game clock. And for the second half, Miami Northwestern will start attacking from south to north here in Bradenton, right to left on your screen, and this one into the end zone, touchback. Gavin Marshall showcasing that leg that has gotten only 1 or 2 returns for Miami Northwestern and really not getting ideal field position in any of their starting drives. So 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Miami Northwestern will come back onto the field trying to crawl out of a 4-touchdown hole. And Taron Dixon, the hand, they go up the middle. They've got some space. That is Sadiq Jackson working his way towards IMG territory.
A solid run on Jackson's first touch of the second half. He burst through the Ascender D-line and into the secondary and was dragging and driving tacklers for several extra yards after contact.
And now quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Dixon with a handoff again, this time only about 4 yards on the play. That'll bring it up to the Bulls' 45-yard line and bring up 2nd and 6 for Miami Northwestern. Split out to the near side, Jalen Rogers and Steve Augustine. The receivers to the left of Taron Dixon. They'll keep it on the ground, and this time stuffed right up the middle. Jordan Hall breaking into the backfield and allowing that play. Nothing, not even the original line of scrimmage.
Jordan
Big
Hall,
tackle for loss.
Jordan Hall not only bust into the backfield, but he also forced a fumble. He rips the ball out, and the quarterback, Dixon, is able to fall on it to prevent the turnover. Jordan Hall, at 6'1", 228, is the leading tackler with 43 tackles, about 7 a game, and 2 sacks for the Ascender defense. He is a stalwart on their defense as a linebacker, and he's been excellent all season.
Empty backfield, 3rd and 13, and this one across midfield into Ascender territory and caught.
Dixon is finally able to complete one of those in-breaking routes that he's been trying to hit behind the linebackers all night. He was finally able to make an accurate throw that was hauled in there, and so the Bulls are able to keep this drive alive.
They'll go back to the empty backfield. 4 receivers bunched to the left. Dixon, just a quick little swing route. That'll go out of bounds.
Looked like Jalen Rogers, number 3, caught the ball and advanced it for a short gain on 1st down for the Bulls.
And for all your IMG Academy gear, go to www.shopimg.com, your official IMG Academy online retailer. Now Dixon, the handoff, this one running right side and able to keep his feet until he gets the line to gain, and Miami Northwestern on the march to start the second half.
Trowers bounced that to the outside and then quickly turned it up, staying nice and low with his pad level.
And this time it's Trowers again, but Jordan Hall with a little bit of deja vu into the backfield, and another tackle for loss for Jordan Hall on the play for IMG.
Yeah, that's the second time on this drive that Hall has been able to tee off on that run play and do what we call a run through, where the hole opens up for the back, but the linebacker runs through it before the back does, and Hall was in the backfield to make that play.
A little play action across the middle and knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Dixon tried to double pump on that one. He didn't have what he wanted right away, and then somebody's big mitts got up and knocked that ball down. He wasn't able to get it over that dominant defensive line of the Ascenders.
Taron Dixon, the sophomore quarterback for Miami Northwestern.
They're back to that empty bunch formation. They got quads over here to the left.
An empty backfield. Dixon looking down to the right. It is caught. Believe that is Romello Brinson, the future Miami Hurricane. No relation to former IMG alum Warren Brinson, now playing at the University of Georgia.
What the Bulls are able to get out of that formation when they go quads is they get man-to-man coverage there for Brinson over on that short side. He's the lone receiver, so he can basically work one-on-one with the defender. And so that's an advantage for an offensive player. There's no underneath help.
Now the snap. The hand up the middle and wrapped up in the backfield. Dominic James able to stop that.
Dominic James was in the backfield immediately. able to get his hands on that Bull running back before he could even get started. He pierces through. He's not going to let go. And then the rest of the Ascender defense rallies to gang tackle.
And being corrected in the Facebook live chat is Dickens with a wide open receiver. The roster that Miami Northwestern provided us had his name misspelled. And Teron Dickens finds number 4, Steve Augustine. Apologize to those of you watching from the Miami area. Can only go by the rosters that we were provided by Miami Northwestern, and they're back within 3 scores.
Well, that was so important. We talked about that coming out of halftime. What were the Bulls going to do with this opening drive in the second half if they were going to make it competitive, that they needed to go down the field and get points on the board? And they did that. So they did. Their offense did their job coming out of the second half. The coaching staff went in at halftime and thought about what the plays that they were going to call, and they made some great play calls on that drive. They executed. So now it's up to their defense, who really hasn't been able to slow down the Ascender attack for this entire night. Can the defense rise up and steal some possessions, create a turnover, create a 3-and-out, put the ball back in their offense's hands? If they're able to do that and put points on the board again, we could see an actually competitive second half here, and maybe not Miami Northwestern could mount a comeback.
But with 7:42 remaining, it's going to be a long comeback, and maybe longer than the 19 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in this game, as IMG was able to pretty much score at will. 35-14, the Ascender advantage. We'll see their offense in the second half. And it is Xavier Terrell, the sophomore, who set records here at IMG Academy last year. Multiple 300-yard rushing games, playing with the national team. And Ari Allen back to return this kick. And a much more calm, cool, and collected Miami Northwestern team. I have a feeling head coach Max Edwards was probably not speaking at the volume we're speaking at right now in his halftime talk.
No, most coaches at this point in the game have a pretty hoarse throat from yelling, especially when it goes as it's gone thus far.
And this will be fielded by Xavier Terrell at the 10. He cuts upfield to the 25 and finally cut down about the 31-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for IMG Academy.
Solid return by Terrell. He almost burst through into the open field and made a huge gain out of it. But he sets the Ascenders up with good field position here from their own 32-yard line heading out.
And it is J.J. McCarthy and Lavoisier Carroll in the backfield. Malik McClain, the lone receiver, to the near side. And receivers tripped out to the left. Carroll now running in between the tackles, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
That's a big stop by the Bulls to limit Carroll to such a short gain on first down. We know as a 3-time state champ that this team has a lot of pride. It's good to see them come out in the second half with a lot of energy here.
Now McCarthy takes the snap. And this one, he will just bounce to the legs. Believe that was number 8, Sean Miller. And incomplete. Clock will stop with 6:54 remaining in the third quarter.
One of the few inaccurate throws we've seen from McCarthy. He threw that one at the feet of his wide receiver. So it sets up a 3rd and long, one of the first 3rd and longs we've seen. And it gives the Bulls an opportunity to kind of pin their ears back and rush.
Now on 3rd and long, McCarthy throws it to where Malik McClain was, just that quick little hook route, and we'll see Gavin Gundiker on. And again, the throw was right on the money, and Malik McClain was maybe a half a second too late in turning around to get that little button hook.
Well, the throw should have been a little bit more towards the sideline. It was too far to the inside, and he got rid of it, I think, sooner than he needed to. He was feeling the pressure from the Bulls defense, and he let that go before McLean could get his head turned around. So just a missed opportunity, and now the Ascenders have to punt the ball back to the Bulls. Now, the last time their punt return unit was on the field, they mishandled it and almost turned it over.
Gundeker with a booming punt, the fair catch called for, and it's bobbled. This is going to be recovered by IMG. Oh, no.
Same thing. Same player. We saw that last time. Mishandled it. This time it hits him right in the chest, bounces off of his chest, right to the IMG coverage unit. Just a terrible mistake. He's waving his arm. It's a fair catch. All he's got to do is catch the football. Unfortunately, number 5, Cameron Kinchens from the Bulls, just wasn't able to handle it. And that is a crushing blow to the Bulls, who had finally stopped the IMG offense. They had an opportunity to get the ball back and maybe go down and score again, and they set them up in great field position.
1st and 10 from the Bull 30. Katron Allen on the right hip of J.J. McCarthy, the future Michigan Wolverine. The man in motion is Ari Allen into the slot on the right side. Handoff is to Katron Allen. He's using his blockers. He's got space up at the 20. And just barely into the red zone. It'll be a first down for IMG Academy. And another strong run by Katron Allen.
Allen does a good job of setting up his blocks, then bounces it to the outside. And as always, he continues to run hard. Never does one guy bring Katron Allen down. He's always bouncing off of tacklers.
So with 6:20 remaining in the third quarter, we will take our FHSAA mandated water break. The broadcast here will take it with them. 35-14, Ascenders on the march after a muffed punt by Miami Northwestern. You're watching Ascender football on IMG Academy TV. Welcome back, IMG Academy Stadium. After they break for water, 19 yards to get into the end zone for the Ascenders and get back to a 4-score lead. The handoff to Katron Allen finds some space, barrels over a defender and falls forward. Gets 5 or 6 on the play.
This might be one of those situations where IMG just leans on their giant offensive line, on their powerful back, Katron Allen, and keeps pounding it until they're able to put more points on the board, not wanting to risk making a mistake and getting any type of a turnover to give the Bulls back the ball. Well,
now McCarthy looking into the end zone, has Sean Miller for his second, and on a dime is able to drop that into the hands of Sean Miller. Touchdown Ascenders.
Well, when I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. And the offensive coordinator went right back to J.J. McCarthy and said, hey, we're going to have an opportunity for you to kind of redeem yourself. Your last couple of passes haven't been super accurate, and McCarthy was right on the money with that one. That came out of his hand right on time. It was perfectly thrown to Sean Miller for the TD, and McCarthy just ripped off a perfect touchdown pass. That was a beautifully thrown football.
And in coverage on that play was number 5, Cameron Kinchens. His muffed punt is what set up that drive as Gavin Marshall puts that one through the uprights. So you know, for a player that had an opportunity to give Miami Northwestern only really a 70-yard field to work with, to have that muffed punt and then the touchdown just thrown outside of his reach in coverage is just gotta hurt as a defender.
Yeah, that's frustrating for him, and I'm sure he was honestly still thinking about that muff punt. It's hard to shake off something like that when you know that you've potentially cost your team, and then he's out there exposed one-on-one against Sean Miller, and Miller was able to set himself up with a nice shake at the top of his route, break to the outside, and again, J.J. McCarthy with a perfect throw.
So the Ascender special teams back now, up 28 with 5:37 to go in the third quarter. Want to thank our sponsors, Gatorade, Under Armour, and Zenith. Gatorade keeping our Ascenders well hydrated, Under Armour keeping them well dressed, Zenith keeping them well protected. Gatorade, Under Armour, and Zenith providing IMG Academy TV broadcasts here at IMG Academy. As Marshall gets under this one, we'll have an opportunity for it to be returned, and it is muffed and put on the ground again. And absolutely stood up. The hit stick coming. I believe that was number 24 for IMG, Kamari Wilson. Just absolutely showing why he is the number 41 junior in the country. Take a look on this return and just lowering his shoulder. That is redefining form tackle.
You were right. That was number 24, Kamari Wilson, and that was a beautiful form tackle. That was an absolute stick. He lifted that player off his feet and slammed him on his back. That was a beautiful tackle by Wilson.
Kamari Wilson out of Pierce, Florida, on the other coast. Now the snap. Dickens with the handoff to the right side and falling into the pile of Ascender defenders. It'll bring up second down.
So now the IMG defense is showing what we would call a two-shell. They've got two safeties back. A lot of the earlier part of the game, they were in more of a single high safety alignment. They had another player in the box, you would say, to kind of stop the run game. Now with this huge lead that they have, they can take a guy out of the box and kind of play against the big play.
And now trying to run in between the tackles again. That time into the arms. Believe that was Trevon Howard coming up from that safety position. And 3rd and 4 for Miami Northwestern. They have to keep this drive alive if they want to avoid that running clock and avoid an early bus trip back to Miami. Now the snap. Dickens looking downfield, pocket closing. He rolls out to his right, has a man at the 29, and it is Romello Brinson who will keep the drive going for Miami Northwestern. They'll credit Xavier Sori with the tackle.
It's the first time we've seen Dickens scramble around and able to buy himself really more time and then dump the ball off. So he did a good job moving around in the pocket, extending that play, and then finding Brinson for the first down.
And for Miami Northwestern, they have already totaled the score that they have put on IMG in the last 3 years, only scoring 7 twice and being shut out the first time they played IMG back in 2017. Again, 21-0 the first score back in 2017. In 2018, it was 34-7, and last year, 24-7. That game played down in Miami. So to have 14 points on the number 1 team in the nation, you hate to look and talk about moral victories, although the game is not over yet. As Dickens hands off there and fighting to keep the drive alive, working against the clock. They'll be just shy of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and short for Miami Northwestern.
So the Bull offense has come out and executed well here at the beginning of the second half. They scored on their first drive. They're moving the ball here on their second drive. Now they've set themselves up with a very manageable 3rd down.
3rd and 2 from their own 40-yard line. Darren Dickens with the snap and the hand left side and out of the backfield. And almost put down on the turf. Into the backfield quickly was O.J. Burrows, and unfortunately for Burrows, just able to elude his tackle, and it'll be a first down for Miami Northwestern as they knock on IMG territory.
Burrows with a great reaction from the secondary to fly up and almost make that play for a tackle for loss and prevent the first down. Just wasn't able to hang on. The ball carrier for the Bulls kept fighting for that extra yardage to get that first down and keep this drive alive.
Dickens takes the snap, little play action, almost jumped by Xavier Sori. And number 6 would have had 6 if he was able to get in that backfield just a fraction of a second quicker. And instead, it turns out for a positive gain for the Bulls.
Just able to get that ball over the outstretched arm of Sori and get it into number 4 there on the outside. And he was able to bounce it to the outside there and get a solid first down gain. So now it sets him up for about 2nd and 6.
And Dickens with 3 receivers to his left. They'll stay on the ground. And again, quickly in the backfield was number 44, Sam LaFury. And another big hit by the IMG defense. And we have not seen the amount of penalties in this third quarter that we saw in the first half. We saw some, almost it seemed like every alternating play, whether it was a holding, a personal foul, or an unsportsmanlike conduct. So, again, that mental aspect of that halftime talk for each side definitely benefiting. Now the snap, Dickens looking across the middle and almost intercepted again. O.J. Burrows in and out of his hands. That would have been number 6. They might have to build an O.J. Burrows statue down in Miami if he would have gotten that one.
I know he's kicking himself for that because that was thrown right to Burrows, and the likelihood is that he would have returned that all the way for a touchdown. So Burrows is in the right place at the right time yet again and makes another pass deflection. 4th down, the Bulls are going for it here on 4th and about 2.5 yards. They need to get this first down to stay competitive.
Anticipating a hard count. Instead, they're looking deep downfield. Instead, they get it to Romello Brinson, their only member of the ESPN 300, and he is shaking tacklers and puts it on the ground.
Brinson has shown every time he's able to get his hands on the ball that he is a very capable runner after the catch. And I guess the one thing I'd say is, could Miami Northwestern have been more creative with thinking of ways to get the ball in Brinson's hands? He's only caught the ball a few times tonight. Maybe a jet sweep, maybe some type of play where you motion him into the backfield. He just seems to be such a dangerous threat that he's worthy of more touches. And I know that IMG wants to prevent him from getting those touches. That's one of the defensive coordinator's jobs, but Brinson has shown why he is an ESPN top 300 player.
So 1st and 10 for the Bulls, trying to, again, get to 50% of what the IMG score is right now. It's 42-14. Now the snap, little play action. We were out trying to set up that little screen, and that will go for a short gain, but quickly there, Ade Ajanku-Willie able to stop that play before it's able to get going.
Number 3, Jalen Rogers makes the catch for the Bulls.
Second and 8 from the 31, possibly the last play of the third quarter. Last week, Miami Northwestern playing their in-city rival in Miami Central, winning 21-14, which was able to shoot them to number 6 with St. Thomas Aquinas losing to Cardinal Gibbons, also from Fort Lauderdale. And this one almost intercepted. Xavier Sori, just a hawk, is able to knock that down. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. Take a look there. Xavier Sori just showing why he is one of the top athletes in the country. 16 offers, every Power 5 school in the state of Florida and Alabama, and a few others as well. We will go to the 4th. IMG Academy 42, Miami Northwestern 14. You're watching Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV. Welcome back. 3rd and 8 from the 31-yard line of IMG Academy. We'll switch directions. Miami Northwestern now with quads bunched to the right of Taryn Dickens. And thanks for spending your Friday evening with us. 4th quarter action here at IMG Academy Stadium. Now Dickens takes the snap, drops pocket closing across the middle, has Romello Brinson, and he is tripped up at the 25-yard line, a 4th down situation, but with the score the way it is, they're going to have to go for it.
Dickens with a nice ball. Led Brinson perfectly as he came on that in-breaking route. Again, the more times that Brinson gets the ball in his hands, good things tend to happen.
3 receivers right, and the hand will go left side, and quickly in the backfield, Malik Bryant absolutely shutting down Sadiq Jackson, and that will be a turnover on downs.
That was great pursuit by the Ascender defense. They flew to the football to prevent that first down and get that turnover on downs. That was big for them to rise up and make that stop. That's a little bit of a backbreaker for the Bulls at this point, who were driving and were on the IMG side of the field and had an opportunity to put more points on the board, and then the defense rose up and turned the ball over again. So IMG's offense has a chance to really put this thing away.
And it is J.J. McCarthy and Lavoisier Carroll from their own 24-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right. And now the snap. The hand is to Lavoisier Carroll. He bounces out to the left, cuts up at the 30. He's got speed to the 45, into Bull territory, across the 50 and down to the 47-yard line. And another big gain by LC.
You do not want to give Lavoisier Carroll any space. If he can get into that second level with the speed that he has a chance to go the distance every single time he touches the football.
LC with 29 yards on the carry, and a lot of people in the Facebook Live chat saying that IMG's only good this year because half of the roster opted out because of COVID. Well, that's not necessarily the case. 3 of the players that scored against Miami Northwestern last year all on this team as well. The only notable COVID transfer, the quarterback right there, number 9, J.J. McCarthy, coming from Nazareth in the Chicago suburbs, also a 3-time state championship visitor, as he is hit hard, stays on his feet and is able to adjust, looking for number 8, Sean Miller. And now some jawing going on and some restraint having to be shown, as the frustrations of a 28-point deficit now coming through the pores of the Miami Northwestern team.
Well, McCarthy's frustrated because they were trying to twist his ankle there as they were wrapping him up after he was able to get rid of that football. McCarthy made an incredibly athletic play to avoid the sack. He took a hit and rolled off of that hit and was taking a second hit as he released the football.
2nd and 10, the handle, Lavoisier Carroll bounces back to the left. He's got space at the 30, turns on the other ignition, and he is brought down at the 16. Another giant gain for the future member of RBU. RBU, of course, the initials for UGA, the University of Georgia. And Lavoisier Carroll will come off, and the chain gang is tripped up on the near side of the field.
I have heard people from California refer to USC as RBU. But it's arguable. I know Georgia has put out so many great running backs over the last decade or so, actually more than that, going all the way back to Herschel Walker.
And now McCarthy with the hand to Katron Allen, who gets the edge, and he just steps out shy of the end zone. No, he doesn't. He stays in. Touchdown Ascenders. It looked like the official was trying to signal where Katron may have stepped out. Instead, he goes into the end zone. And just 1 point away from the FHSAA running clock.
The Ascender stable of backs is undoubtedly the best group of running backs in the country. There's no question. And Lavoisier Carroll and Katron Allen have just been incredibly dominant tonight. Both of these guys are averaging well over 5 yards a carry. I know that their averages are only going to go up from tonight. Carroll is averaging over 10 yards per carry. That's on the season, and he's just ripped off play after play after play, just big hunks of yardage.
And that will keep the clock moving with 9:48 remaining in the game. Ascenders 49, Miami Northwestern Bulls 14. You are watching Ascender football on IMG Academy TV. Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium. Ryan Sudol and Josh Phillips with you for the final 8.5 minutes remaining. See some people in the chat right now asking to see little Stacy in at running back. The freshman, of course, who a few weeks ago for the varsity team against St. Pete Catholic had 298 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns in the first half alone. He is not currently dressed with the national team tonight. He stepped up with the national team, scored 2 touchdowns against Duncanville, currently believe the number 12 team in the country out of Texas, while Xavier Terrell, number 5 for the Ascenders, was out with a leg injury. Xavier Terrell back in tonight, so Stacy Gage, again, not with the national team tonight, but appreciate those of you that have been watching IMG Academy football all season long. As Gavin Marshall doing what he does best, he boots this one deep. Fielded at the 5, a chance for Miami Northwestern to get some space and just running into the arms of an Ascender defender, and now a flag coming after, now you can see the frustrations of a 35-point deficit starting to bleed over.
They might get IMG here for unnecessary roughness. Not that I think that that's warranted, but right as the whistle was being blown, a couple of IMG kickoff coverage guys kind of body slammed the returner, and that is what they've called. So it's going to move the Bulls forward another 15 yards.
And Josh also seeing a couple of the Miami Northwestern faithful in the Facebook chat saying to stop scheduling IMG, but there's a couple schools that schedule IMG knowing that there's really not much of a chance to win, but schools like Cocoa, Miami Central, Venice High School, down just a little bit south of where we are, that have scheduled us and have gone on to win state championships, as Miami Northwestern has done the last 3 years that they've played IMG and only scored 2 touchdowns against them, and they've got 2 tonight alone. So some progress being made against the best team in the country, but some coaches like to see where their team is the weakest and where they need to work to become state championships. Obviously, with IMG Academy ineligible to play for a state title because the way they do their out-of-state recruiting. As Dickens now with the handoff, and pressure coming, and brought down before the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and manageable for Miami Northwestern. Again, obviously no coach likes to come to anybody's house and lose by more than 2 touchdowns, let alone 3, 4, or 5. But we've seen Miami Northwestern bounce back from results like this in the past. And again, back-to-back-to-back state champions. Again, Miami Northwestern is no slouch, still one of the best teams in the state of Florida.
Yeah, I would disagree with whoever said that in the chat room. I think any true competitor knows that you're going to become your best by being hardened through fire, so to speak. And it's worked out for Miami the last 3 years. They've taken losses to IMG and then gone on to win state championships. As a competitor, you want to test yourself against the best. Like you said, Ryan, it reveals weaknesses. It reveals things that you can shore up and make better. I love the fact that Miami continues to schedule IMG. That just shows that their coaching staff sees the big picture. It's not about having an undefeated regular season. It's about holding up the championship trophy at the end of the year.
And a timeout will be taken here. For those of you in the chat also that are commenting on our commentating being a little biased, I've been with IMG Academy for 6 years, so this is the team that I know and do love, and again, try to call it right down the middle. It is a 49-14 game in favor, but we are not paid to be neutral commentators. We are the IMG Academy home broadcast, so our apologies for those of you that may feel we're a little slanted against Miami Northwestern.
I'm definitely not against Miami Northwestern. I want to see a competitive football game. I wanted Miami Northwestern to come out and play well, and I think they've shown that they've got a lot of talent. I try to call a game pretty even, so I just want to see a well-played game. Now, I don't know this squad as well in terms of the roster and being able to get the names out there for the Miami Northwestern guys. So I apologize, too, if you feel that we've been in any way biased towards you. But I'm hoping, for your sake, that you guys go on and have a great season from this and are able to build on this.
And that coming from Ivy League, NFL, and AFL experience. Josh Phillips joining his broadcast for the first time here at IMG Academy. Happy to have him along. 2nd and 9. Again, it's just been a couple of little mishaps, though, that just whether it be a penalty or the muff punts that have really cost Miami Northwestern. Again, this game could be a lot closer than the scoreboard reflects. Just, again, this IMG Academy is not a team that you can afford to make mistakes against.
Yeah, we talk about that every week. If you guys don't listen to us every week, that when you come in here, when you play this IMG team, you have to play nearly flawless football. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. Turnovers, penalties, timely mistakes. And really, it's unfortunate because there have been opportunities for Miami Northwestern to climb back in this game, and they have kind of shot themselves in the foot. They clearly have talent, but they've only played one game. This is their second football game. They're playing the number one team in the country on the road, and I think they've acquitted themselves well. And I do believe that this coaching staff and this Bulls team is going to build on this and continue to get better throughout the season. But IMG came in ready to play tonight.
3rd and 2. Dickens takes the snap, looking downfield, trying to find Brinson, and that one just away from, I believe that was Tyler Childress, and incomplete.
Tried to hit the quick slants, had multiple quick slants on that play. Dickens was just a little bit off target.
So 4th and 2, got to go for it. The running clock instituted, 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Trips right. One lone target to the left. Now the snap. They will go to the air, and that one is knocked down. Cannot get to the highly touted wide receiving prospect, Romello Brinson. It'll be a turnover on downs, and that should just about wind out the game here on this final drive for IMG Academy with the running clock going 49-14.
Looked like big number 99, Anthony Hundley, got his hand on that ball for the Ascenders to end the drive for the Bulls. So the IMG offense is going to come out one more time with this running clock. Likelihood is this will be the last possession in the football game. We may not see McCarthy come back on the field either. We might see Jack Woach.
I believe it is Waukee.
Waukee. and this is why they pay Ryan the big bucks.
Waukee, the number 2 quarterback on the depth chart. He actually led the Ascenders to a huge 56-6 win over Bishop Sycamore just a couple of weeks ago, coming down from Columbus, Ohio. 2 minutes remaining. Now the snap is high, and it goes to Xavier Terrell, and he just slides. And mass substitutions for IMG Academy.
Not sure if we had a new center in the game. One thing it is hard to do if you're a center is come in cold and try to make those shotgun snaps. But it was a little bit high, and Waukee wasn't able to handle it. But Xavier Terrell was Johnny on the spot, was able to field that and save the possession for IMG.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Again, Xavier Terrell, the sophomore. As they will take as much time off the clock as possible. Waukee with the snap, the hand to Xavier Terrell. He runs upfield. He's got space down the right side, and he'll get out of bounds. The clock will continue to run. Just time for maybe one or two more plays for the Ascenders.
The Ascenders should be able to run the clock out without getting a first down.
And 20 seconds remaining. They will take some of that time off and probably just keep the ball on the ground one more time. Waukee with that little quick option pitch to the right and a flag coming in, which will probably set the play clock and the game clock apart enough to where that was the final play. And it's a hold against IMG. But we will probably see the Ascender offense come off the field. Some handshakes there between Sean Miller and Ari Allen. Two big playmakers for IMG Academy. And really it was the Jackson Zager fake field goal just at the end of the first half to get to Ari Allen on fourth down that helped to really kind of break the back of Miami Northwestern. But they come to IMG Academy and are still able to put up two scores, which is something not a lot of opponents can do. 49-14 your final. Josh, not necessarily sure if we expected quite that lopsided of a win, but still a strong game and a strong showing from IMG Academy tonight.
Yeah, the Ascenders just continue to build on this season. They've been tested several times. They've got the target on their back every week, and they are rising to the challenge. It looks like this team is just getting stronger as the season goes along. Early in the season for Miami Northwestern here, they've only played one game, so a tough matchup for them, and really what's their week 2. They've acquitted themselves well, and I know that they're going to continue to get better as this season goes along. They've got plenty of talent. Hopefully for them, they win a 4th straight state championship.
Josh, what do you say we come back tomorrow afternoon and do it again at 1 o'clock for the post-grad team?
Let's do it.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Your final score again live from IMG Academy. Ascenders 49, Miami Northwestern Bulls, the number 6 team in the country, only 14 tonight. They will head back again and play a tough schedule. Not a lot of room before they get to the FHSAA playoffs. They have opted in, but they are still the cream of the crop when it comes to teams from South Florida. Thanks again for tuning in for everyone here at IMG Academy and for my broadcast partner, Josh Phillips. My name is Ryan Sudol saying so long from the Suncoast.
2nd and 10, the handle, Lavoisier. Carroll bounces back to the left. He's got space at the 30. Turns on the other ignition. And he is brought down at the 16.
Second and 10, the handle, Lavoisier. Carroll bounces back to the left. He's got space at the 30. Turns on the other ignition. And he is brought down at the 16. Now McCarthy looking into the end zone, has Sean Miller for his second. And the hand will go left side and quickly in the Lavoisier. Carroll, he bounced. No, Gibbons, also from Fort Lauderdale. And this